Hi guys, it is Foxy, your drama teacher, and today's video is going to be a deep stretch, mostly focusing on our legs. We're going to be doing our left splits, our right splits, our center splits. Okay, so we're going to try to do our left splits, our right splits, and our center splits. I should clarify that because I can't do any one of those three things, but I'm working on it. And when you guys are following this video at home, you can either do it in a room that has a carpet like this one. I have a yoga mat here just to kind of act as a barrier between the carpet and me. Or you can just do it on the carpet. You can put a towel down. You can put anything down that is squishy and soft to help you stretch. Now, I'm standing right now because I am not warm. I did some Zumba this morning. But it is now like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and so before I stretch, I want to make sure that my muscles are nice and warm, because if you stretch on cold muscles, think of it like gum. If you chew a piece of gum and then you stick it in the refrigerator and you come back to it like an hour later and you try and stretch that gum, is it going to be very stretchy? No, it's not going to be very stretchy at all. But if you put that gum back in your mouth, gross as that sounds, then you will be able to chew the gum, get it nice and warm, and then it will stretch a lot more. Your muscles are just like gum. So I'm going to do a couple of jumping jacks to get my legs a little bit warm, and then we will go ahead and get started with our deep stretching. All right, here we go. You can follow along. If you have not done any jumping jacks or anything cardiovascular related today, or you can just have fun ignoring me, and you can fast forward this part until I start the stretching. I'm just going to keep jumping and jacking until my legs feel warm, and then we'll get started with the stretching. You can't see this right now, but my cat is right next to the camera, and she thinks this is all very fascinating. And I'm jumping all around to get my legs nice and warm. Okay, just these, I don't even know what these are called. These probably have a name. I'm sure they have a name. I don't know what that name is. You know, when I was doing this, thinking about this, I should have put my hair in a ponytail. That would have been a smarter decision. Okay, so now let me get my yoga mat back where it is, and now we're gonna sit. Okay, here we go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a variety of stretches that all work different muscles in your legs. The goal is to work up to the splits. If you can already do the splits, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I'm so winded from doing the jumping jacks. I cannot do the splits. For the longest time, I had a left split. I've never had a right split, and I've never had a center split. But my goal is by June of 2020, and it is, no, June of 2020 is past. It is July. Right now is July of 2020. My goal is by June of 2021 to have a center split. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. We'll see. But that's my goal. My goal is to have a center split. I've never had a center split in my entire life, and I want one so bad. So this is gonna help me get there, and this is gonna help you get there if you don't have one. If you are bored by my video, you can feel free to follow any stretching video on YouTube that you want. The purpose of this video is just to kind of explain what muscle groups we're stretching at that time. Also to make sure that your hip alignment is correct and that you're not overstretching, or that you're not stretching incorrectly or doing something that's going to damage your muscles. So I fully recognize I might not be the most exciting person to watch. I'm a teacher after all. So if you have a YouTuber or a fitness guru that you like to follow that has a stretching regimen, you're welcome to do that instead. Just make sure that the videos are roughly the same length of time. That way you're following along with the class and keeping up on what we're doing in class when you are following along in the distance learning forum. Okay, so here we go. To start us off, we're going to start, I always start with my left because I'm a lefty. You guys know that, or if you don't know that, you will know that soon. I always lead with my left. I always start with my left. A lot of the stretches you're going to see us do twice. We're going to hold each stretch for 30 seconds, and the whole point is to stretch further the second time. So like I did a bunch of jumping jacks, my legs are feeling nice and warm, but I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to just go right into stretching all the way and pull something. So I'm gonna just do a nice light modified stretch first, and then I'll go deeper and further the next time we do this exercise, okay? So I'm gonna set my timer on my watch for 30 seconds. Each stretch will be 30 seconds. We're gonna start in what's called a figure 4. So on your yoga mat, just make sure that your left leg is nice and straight. You know, you can put your toe, you can flex your toe. This is not technique oriented. This is just to get a really good hamstring stretch. We're just gonna stretch this muscle right here. Make sure your hips are nice and straight. This leg is out to the side, and we're just gonna stretch forward. So you're just gonna hold this stretch, set the timer, go down as far as you can, but don't hurt yourself. That's really, really key here. You don't want to stretch further than you can. You should feel a nice pull in your muscle, but you shouldn't feel anything sharp. If you feel a sharp pain is bad. A stretching pain is okay. So just hold this. Make sure you're breathing for a few more seconds. A couple more. And relax. Okay, good. So you should have felt a nice, good stretch in your hamstring. Now we're going to switch. Same thing, same exact thing on the right side. Okay? Make sure your hips are straight. We're just working straight hamstring stretches at this time. So we're gonna reset our timer and go ahead and stretch. I am not nearly as flexible on my right side as I am on my left side. But even like the last month or so that I've been stretching pretty earnestly, I have felt such an improvement on my right side, and I've never ever been flexible on my right side. This touching like my nose to my knee or my forehead to my knee, either I couldn't do it at all or it was excruciating. But if you stretch every day, you will definitely improve. Oh, that was nice. I had like hair over my nose and in my mouth at the same time. It was so glamorous. Okay, now this stretch next. I cannot even begin to tell you how much I hate this stretch. This is just your legs straight in front of you. We're just gonna come up and we're gonna lean right down over our heads before we do that. Haha, I tricked you. I'm just kidding. This stretch, you will really feel the stretch under your knees and this muscle here, whatever muscle this is. I should know what this muscle is. I have a licensing in health and PE. Isn't that kind of funny? But I don't know what that muscle is. What is your ACL? Yes, maybe that's your ligament. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm just gonna make a fool out of myself. So, stretching this way stretches the muscle behind your knees. And if you are like me, or your hamstrings are pretty decently flexible, but this muscle is not flexible, this stretch will be pretty painful for you. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start with both legs in front of us like this, and then I'm going to show you a modified version for how you can stretch this muscle individually, because if you remember from this stretch here, you can stretch pretty far and you don't actually feel the stretch in your ACL or under your kneecap. If you stretch like this, however, right away I feel the pull here as opposed to here. So as soon as we're done this, I'm gonna show you how to stretch this muscle individually, which helps you get a little bit further. So we're gonna do this stretch for 30 seconds, and then we'll do it on our left side, on our right side, and then we'll do this one again for 30 more seconds. Okay, so we're gonna reset here, and let's go. Okay, so I'm giving you guys quite a show right now of my cleavage, which is not appropriate. So this hurts a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've always been envious of the people that can just like touch their heads to their knees. I'm not that person, I can't do that. This stretch actually makes me a little bit nauseous. It makes my toes kind of tingly. I don't think that's very good or very healthy, but if you feel the same way, hey, you're not alone, I'm with you. And that 2 more seconds, here we go, and we're gonna stop. Oh my gosh, that sucks. Like a lot. Okay, so now we are just going to stretch our left leg. Now, before, when we stretched our hamstring, it was a figure 4, we had our leg out like this. This time, we're gonna leave this knee up. Because if we leave this knee up and then we stretch forward, this like gets in the way of stretching the hamstring, and you will feel just the stretch there. So think of it, you want like the arch of your foot, if you can see the arch of my foot, to be right in my calf muscle like that. So like that's kind of where they're side by side. That's kind of where my right foot is positioned, and now I'm just gonna lean straight forward. I'm gonna let my arm rest here on my elbow, and I'm just gonna pull myself straight in, and you can feel that nice same stretch, only it's one knee at a time, so it's not the amount of stretching pain that you feel the surge from both legs at the same time, okay? So here we go, we're gonna stretch this for 30 seconds. Here we go, let's do it. If you can get down close closer to your kneecap, go for it. Just make sure you're not stretching your hamstring too much, so that you're actually still stretching the muscle behind your kneecap near your ACL. All right, for 8 more seconds. 2 more seconds, here we go. Feel that good stretch, good job. Okay, let's stop. Oh, still don't like it. Still don't like it. It like makes my feet feel all tingly. Come back, but I'm gonna need you to walk here in a little bit. Okay. Now, same thing on your right side. Here we go. I'm gonna reset. And again, I'm gonna rest this upper part of my arm right on my knee here. That way I can get that stretch in my knee. Here we go. 30 seconds. Okay. Okay, you can see I cannot get down as far on this side. It hurts a lot. Keep breathing. That's the most important thing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. That's what they say to do. That's what you're supposed to do. I don't always do that. Okay, here we go. 2 more seconds. Ow, I don't like this stretch at all. Okay, stop. Okay. Whose idea was this? Okay. All right, let's just give ourselves a little bit of a rest because that stretch, that stretch just does yucky things to my insides. I just don't like that stretch at all. Okay, we're gonna take a little bit of a break from that stretch for now. We're gonna go back to our figure fours, okay? So now that we've been stretching for a little bit, we're gonna go deeper, further on this stretch. Same exact stretch that we did in the very, very beginning, but now, like, if you could touch your head to your knee, maybe try and touch your nose to the floor, or just pull yourself, or if you could only like get this far, try to get a little bit further. Again, we're switching back to the deep hamstring stretch, not the kneecap stretch necessarily. So try to get yourself as far as you can. Remember, no, sharp shooting pain, bad. Sharp shooting pain is bad. So if you feel any sharp shooting pain, back off immediately. You don't want to injure yourself by pushing yourself. But if you ease into it and you feel a nice deep stretching pain, that's okay. And then if you can pull yourself to stretch further, and then the last couple seconds, hold it as long as you can. All right, here we go, 30 seconds. Deep breath, relax. Nice deep stretch. Breathing, stretching. Feeling that nice deep stretch. Nice deep stretch. Here we go. Okay, 2 more seconds and we're good. All right, good job. Okay, same thing on our right side. Same thing on our right side. A little bit further of a stretch. Stretch further, stretch deeper. Get that nice long stretch in your right hamstring. Okay, here we go, 30 seconds. Are you with me? Haha, could not go nearly as far on this side. Oh, right leg fail. Okay, go as far as you can. Make sure your knees are straight, but don't block your knees. You don't want to injure yourself, but sometimes I notice it's easier I can get further if I lift my knee a little bit. But that's cheating, so don't cheat. Okay, stretch, 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 stretch. Ooh, see? This is a nice stretching pain. It's not a sharp shooting pain. It's definitely hurty, but it's stretchy hurty, which is a good stretchy hurty because that means I'll eventually get more flexible. Yay! Okay, it's been 30 seconds. Oh, it's been 37 seconds. Oh my gosh, I made you hold that side 5 seconds too long. Okay, my deepest, sincerest apologies. Okay, good. That was really good. Now we're going back to this. I know. I'm not looking forward to it either. It makes me almost as nervous as the dentist. Okay, here we go. 30 more seconds. Again, same stretch as we did before, but now we're gonna try and go a little bit further since we've stretched each leg individually. All right, so 30 seconds. Here we go. Oh, I hate this one. Ow, yow, yow. Breathing. Ow, yow, yow, yow. I do not like this stretch. I don't like it at all. Oh, I still have 10 more seconds. Oh, why do people do this to themselves? Ouch. Okay, please, Okay, thank God. Okay. Okay. Those are done. That was good. You did good. Good job. Now we're gonna move into lunges. The purpose of lunges is to work on your splits. It's to help with your hip flexors and to help, actually, I'm sorry, I'm lying. Before that, let's do some butterflies. Butterflies is a nice, easy center leg stretch. All right, so you can do these one of two ways. Butterfly, like a butterfly, seeing these from a butterfly, right? So pretty. So you can hold your feet like this and you can lean forward. That will give you a nice good stretch in here. Or you can hold your feet like this, hold your ankles, put your elbows on your knees and then push your legs down. Both of them will give you a pretty similar stretch. It's entirely up to you what's easier, what's better, what's happier, that sort of thing. All right, so 30 seconds, butterfly, here we go. I prefer to hold my ankles and push my elbows down. Push my elbows down. Use my elbows to push my knees down. And then you still lean forward to get a good stretch out of that. Is anyone keeping the time? Because when I do this, I can't look at my watch. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a wild guess when it's 30 seconds. We'll see. 1, 2, I wouldn't do that to you guys. What time is it? 5 more seconds. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, good. Good. Here we go. Ooh, right, now. For lunges, okay. My cat now sees birds out the window, so I'm hoping that you guys hear me through the microphone and my AirPods and not my cat, she's actually closer to the camera right now. No, she's okay. When she hears birds, she hears a little bird clacking noise, like clack, 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 clack. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Cats watching birds. It's the funniest thing you'll ever see in your entire life. All right, lunges, here we go. When lunges have two different purposes. One is to work the leg in front and one is to work your leg in the back. So we're gonna start out with our left because that's what I always do. Your left leg should be up like, should be up like this. So graceful. You want your knee parallel to the ground. And your back leg, which in this case is my right leg, can just be resting on the ground. The most important thing in this stretch is to keep your hips straight. Don't lean or don't twist, don't do anything. Your hips really need to be square and straight. The purpose of this stretch is to stretch your right hip flexor. So even though my left foot is forward, you're thinking to yourself, but if you're going into your left split, don't you need to stretch your left leg? You do, and we'll get there in just a second. But this stretch, purposely, we're lowering our butt, we're putting our weight forward, and the purpose is to stretch this muscle right here, because this muscle needs to be just as flexible as this muscle when you're doing a left split, okay? Hi, sweet girl. She's so excited by the birds. Okay, so now, again, when you do this, you can put your hands down on the ground like this, and you can just lean forward and stretch your hip. Or you can use these things, which are called yoga blocks, and you can use these to put your weight on when you do them. It helps keep your chest upright. Doesn't matter. Where I got these, these were a quarantine purchase. I used giant bottles of detergent and fabric softener because they were like 10-pound containers and they had handles on top of them and they were like the right size. And so I was like, okay, I'll use those. They actually worked pretty decently. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. So I'm gonna set my, oh look, my timer has been going this whole time. Apparently that last stretch was 3 minutes long. Good golly, Miss Molly. All right, I'm actually gonna set these aside for now. I'm not gonna use them. I will use these when I do the actual splits because I can't get all the way down into a split, and so it helps keep my posture. Okay, but for this one, I'm just gonna have my hands down on the ground. I'm leaning some of my body weight on my left knee, and we're gonna hold this stretch for 30 seconds. Again, remember, you're stretching your hip flexor, so you should feel a nice deep stretch here, not anywhere really on your left leg. Okay, so we're gonna hold this. Here we go, nice stretch. So exciting. 10 more seconds. Kind of impatient. Pretty impatient. You already know that, don't you? Yeah, okay. All right, that's 30 seconds, and we're gonna stop. Okay, so now gently come back and sit on your leg like this, keeping your hips straight. And now we're just gonna come straight down I'm not gonna time it, just hold it, stretch it for like a couple seconds. Just to balance out the muscles that we're stretching. Okay, now we're gonna do that same type of stretch, only instead of stretching your hip flexor, which you'll still stretch your hip flexor, that still gets stretched with this next one, but we're gonna be stretching more on the inside of our left leg. So before, your right leg was down, your knee was down, and you were like this. Now, you're gonna take your left hand and you're gonna bring it to the inside of your leg. So now your left leg is on the far outside of your yoga mat or towel or floor or body, whatever it is that you're using. And now we're actually stretching the inside of our leg. So you can hold the stretch like this, or you can actually even go lower and stretch it like that, okay? So again, you wanna make sure your hips are straight. You're not turning like this too much, that's bad. You wanna keep your hips nice and straight and just come straight down and hold that stretch. Okay, we're gonna do that for 30 seconds. Oh, I'm so old. All right, and off balance apparently. Here we go, starting. Here we go, 30 seconds. Now you should feel a good stretch in your left leg, probably more so than your hip flexor. Yeah, ponytail definitely would have been the better choice today. All right, 5 more seconds. Holding this, and good job. Okay, now come up slowly, because this one always, I feel this one a little bit more than some of the others. And my muscles and my tendons and my ligaments are older than yours. So if I don't move slowly, I will risk injuring myself. Okay. All right, give yourself a little massage or just a little wiggle, a little shake. I don't even know what my hair is doing right now. It's fine. Okay. Okay, now same thing on the opposite side. So again, left knee straight up and down. We're gonna put our arms on either side of our knee. Again, the purpose is now to stretch our left hip flexor. We're not stretching too much of anything in our right leg at the moment. You can lean, but you do get a little bit of a stretch, I'm not gonna lie. But the main point of this is for your left hip flexor. Yes, balance, love it. Okay, here we go, 30 seconds and starting. Stretching. You wanna hear a joke? What do you call a blind dinosaur? Do you think Thinkosaurus? Funny. And what do you call a blind dinosaur's dog? Do you think Thinkosaurus Rex? I stole that from Jurassic Park. Great movie. Okay, 3 more seconds. Okay. Stop. Okay, now, same thing as we did on the left. We're gonna move our right leg out to the end of the yoga mat, right hand, and our hands on the insides. Don't bend your hips, make sure your hips stay straight. On my right side, because I'm not as flexible on my right side, I will not be able to go all the way down on my knees like I can on my left side. I can go down a little bit. Oh, see that just hurts a lot. So 30 seconds, nice deep stretch. Ow. So see, that was a shooting pain. And I stopped. Oh, lordy. Okay. Just not as flexible on my right side. That's okay, I'll get there. 10 more seconds. If you hear music right now, I added it to the video after the fact. Okay, that's 10 seconds. That's 30 seconds. Okay. Ow. Okay, now I'm just gonna sit back here for a second because I had a little pinchy pain going on, and pinchy pain is bad pain, like I said. So I'm just gonna make sure that pinchy pain is okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You always want to listen to your body. Listen to the pain, listen to the aches. Know what pain is bad. Because when you're stretching hurts, right? And so, but you need to stretch in order to get more flexible. And so sometimes you need to push yourself, but you don't ever want to push yourself past the point of injury. Okay, that's bad. Okay. Moment of truth, it's time for the splits. Okay, so we're gonna start on our left side. I'm going to use these blocks because when you go into your split, right, which I can't do, obviously, you don't want your body to be forward, right? You don't want to do this. You want to be upright, okay? Because that will give you a more even distribution of weight and also of pulling. If you lean too far forward, you're going to pull more on this leg, and so by doing it this way, you will get a stretch in both of your legs, okay? Now, so these blocks are helpful because these blocks help you keep your weight centered, and then also, well, they're pretty, no, just kidding. Also, they help you keep your weight over top of your legs. When I was in gymnastics as a kid, sometimes it was easier for me to do a split where like, I like bent my hips a little bit. I don't even know why I did that, but it made the split easier, but it was wrong. And so you wanna hold your split like this. Okay, so now I'm going to, because I wasn't timing myself, and actually wanna get a little bit further down than I was just doing there. Because on my left split, I can go further than that. I can do it. If you have a full split, knock yourself out. Go into a split. If you already have a split, I would challenge you to go beyond a split. And you can do that by using yoga blocks and by having like one foot up on the yoga block and going further than a split, or something. You can use furniture, or you can use your own body weight to like lie on your back and hold up your split, and you can pull your split further. But that's getting it further than a split is not my priority at the moment. My priority is to get the split in the first place. So if you already have a split, do whatever stretching you would do at this point in your split. If you don't have a split, find yourself some blocks or some detergent or something to hold yourself up. I'm sure cans of soup would probably work well. I'm trying to think, boxes of noodles, those might cave in a little bit. So if it's like a box, like sugar or flour, yes, those would work really well. So go raid your pantry and come back and show me what you've got. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go into our split. Go as far as you can, hold yourself up, and okay, I'm gonna try to start a timer. There we go, timer is started. So hold your split as low as you can, equal weight distributed on both. If it hurts, you're doing it right, because it should hurt. I used to have such a solid left split, because I did gymnastics for many years, and then I danced for many years. And then I repeatedly injured my left hamstring. Okay, tell me that's been 30 seconds. Okay, that's been 30 seconds. So now you want to very, very, very slowly come out of this. Because this is probably further than you stretch these muscles all day. That's my cat banging on the glass mirror. And so, glass door. And so you want to very, very gently ease yourself out of that position. Okay, no, I'm not laughing, I'm just resetting. Okay, now our right split. My right split is deplorable compared to my left split. I think my left split will get there in like another month or so of stretching. Maybe. My right split, maybe I should aim to have my right split by next June as well, because my right split is not good. Okay, so here we go into the right split. If you don't even have a split that's this far, you can always turn these blocks sideways and hold yourself up even higher, which is what's great about them. If you're closer, you can turn them flat to have yourself even lower. I think mine are pretty good right about here. Again, you really want to make sure that your hips are square. See, for whatever reason, when I turn them sideways like this, I can actually get lower, but that's not right. You're gonna hurt yourself doing it that way. But when I do it this way, I can really feel that my right hamstring has a long way to go before I have the split, okay? So we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Maybe I do it like this. Yeah, that's better. I can feel it in my right hamstring. I can feel it in my left hip flexor. This split, it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take a long time. That's okay. Like I said, I've never had this split before in my whole life. So I've got to start somewhere. That's 30 seconds. Okay, so very gently ease yourself out of this one. I always bend my back leg first and just kind of inch it forward. Okay, splits are done. Okay, we have one more to do. This one's kind of a long one. So there are 3 different ways you can work on your center or your straddle split. I personally have no preference. Well, that's not true. I'll show you which preference I have. It's personal preference. You can do it any of these 3 ways. It really just depends on what works best for you, what you feel you get the best results from. And you can switch it up. Sometimes if you're like, I don't want to do it this way, I want to do it this way, I want to do it this way, it doesn't matter. So you can see I'm up against a wall here, and I'm also going to use ankle weights. I already had these, I didn't buy them specifically for any reason. I've had them for years. They're actually falling apart with like loose strings, but they're great for the type of center straddle that I prefer. I'll show you the other 2 ways first, and then I'll go into the one that I prefer, and we're gonna hold our center straddle. Oh, I did it the right first time, look at me. I'm a tongue twister genius. Center straddle for 2 whole minutes. And so you want to make sure that you are comfortable in whatever position you're in, that you're not putting undue strain on your back or on your knees, because you really want to focus on getting that deep stretch in your straddle, not putting pressure on any of your other joints, okay? So I'm going to turn around and face the wall, and I'll try to like still talk to you, okay? So the first one obviously is just putting your feet up against the wall. And you can inch your butt in further and just kind of inch your butt in as far as you can. And then when you get to the point where you are just like as far as you can possibly go, then you just kind of, you can lean in, you can hold it, whatever you need to do for 2 minutes, and you can do that. The great thing about the wall is that the wall like stops you from cheating. If you just sit on the yoga mat and hold the straddle, your feet will slowly start to inch themselves forward as you get tired, which is bad, but the wall will keep that from happening. And then as you work on it, you can just slowly inch yourself more and more and more farther forward, okay? So up against a wall, option number 1. Option number 2, I should call this heels against the wall. That's an option number, we'll keep names for these things. Option number 2 is butt against the wall. And butt against the wall, I watched this YouTube video where a guy had like worked on his center straddle every single day. What was it, for 81 days? And he took video of it, and then he did like a fast motion capture of it for 81 days. Have your butt against the wall like this. And then you can just hold your straddle like this. That is also an option for you as well. You can keep going down further and further and further. This also works out your arms, clearly. So if that is a stretch, ow, that you want to do, go for it. Okay, the stretch that I prefer, and this is why I use the ankle weights, is I'm actually going to sit with my back on the floor, and I'm going to have my legs against the wall, and I'm going to open up my straddle like this, okay? And I use the weights to kind of give gravity a little bit of a hand. So I'm going to put these weights on my ankles, and I'm going to lean up against the wall, and I'm going to go into as far of a straddle as I can go, and I'm going to hold that for 2 minutes, 2 full minutes. It's great if you have a song that you can listen to, or a song you can just sing along to, whatever floats your boat. So the really important thing about this stretch is making sure that you get your butt as far against the baseboard as you can. So you really want to make sure that you are squatted right up against the wall, and then open up your straddle. Because if you are here, like my butt is like 4 inches away from the wall, and you do this isn't going to do anything, right? That didn't even hurt like the slightest bit. So butt all the way against the wall, and then open up to a straddle. 2 minutes, here we go, and then we're done. Okay, so this is like not the easiest oops. This is where the weights are a little bit of a problem. Okay, so now I'm gonna chin up my butt. Okay. So my butt is all the way against the wall. Okay, my back is flat on the ground, and I'm opening. Here we go. Setting my timer. And I'm actually gonna stretch a little bit further. Make sure you're breathing. Hello, I can still see you. Make sure you're breathing and stretching. The good thing about the weights is it just kind of like pulls on your ankles a little bit more. You get a nice deep stretch in here. And we're just gonna relax. So that was our deep stretching for today. I hope you all had fun. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm talking to you upside down. This is very exciting because we still have a minute and a half to go. So quarantine started in March, right? And I probably did nothing from March until like June. So that was like a nice long time where I like ate a lot of food and watched a lot of Netflix and gained a lot of weight. And so then my sister, my oldest sister, was like, hey, why don't we just start like running together? Like we'll just call each other on the phone and like once or twice a week. And so I did, like every Tuesday and every Thursday, my sister and I, we run together, which is great because we catch up and just talk about whatever is on our minds. But then I was like, in the days in between, I really should start doing something. So that's why I started doing like yoga or these deep stretching things or Pilates or Zumba like I did today. And it's been really, really nice. I'm gonna try to stretch a little bit further. Oh, okay, that hurts a lot. Okay, how much longer? All right, only 15 or 16 more seconds. So thanks for listening to my story. Like I said, you can change it up if you try it this way one day and you don't really like it. Try it a different way another time. I can feel that nice stretch in here. It's all good, it's good. Look at that, 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Stop, reset. Okay, now, I am feeling all the feels in my legs right now. So you, again, very, very carefully, just very, very carefully, very, very, very carefully. Maybe you guys can be a little less careful because your muscles and your bones aren't as old as mine. Okay, but mine hurt a lot. So I have to go slow. All right, you guys, that was Deep Stretching with Foxy, your drama teacher. Thanks for following along. I hope you have a good stretch. I hope you are making progress toward your splits. See you all next class. Bye, everybody. See ya.